So I made a hardcore world on stream, and this is how it went. This was my first ever hardcore world, so I had to get a good spawn. This took way too long, probably about an hour to find the correct spawn. But then I found it. I spawned on a little island, so I had a little explore to see what was around me, and I spotted a bit of desert and then decided to make my tools and a boat and get sailing. Now, I sailed for quite a while because while this ocean looks kinda tiny, it was pretty huge. I mean, I have my render distance set to 16, so you can obviously think, pretty big bit of ocean. But then I saw it, the village where I would spend the rest of my days. Now, obviously, I had to travel to this village, which took, again, way too long. I had a little look along the way, I saw that there was a cave, but then we reached the village and I just started stealing everything I could. I found a desert temple and grabbed some food because I was hungry. Now from speedrunning I learned that there's always a chest in these really tall... I don't know what else there. So I went up to the top, grabbed the food and had a look around. There was a bit of savannah, there was obviously the temple. And then I had to make my tools because I need a lot of stone. And yeah, I grabbed those tools, got some coal, and then headed back to sleep. And that was my first night. The next day I headed back to the cave and grabbed some iron because if I was going to survive in this world, I needed armor and a lot of it. So then I started building my house. I was going for like a villager style house. I tried to craft some uncraftable blocks. I don't know. Please don't ask. I'm ashamed to. But then I grabbed some wood from the singular tree that was on the island. Oh no, it wasn't even on the island, it was on the next island. And then made a sword. Tried to make a stone cutter. I thought this would give me a full smooth stone block. I was wrong. Don't laugh at me, please. I then tried to make a stone cutter, but instead of making a stone cutter, I made a grindstone, which obviously extremely helpful when you're in hardcore and you've just started and you have a huge lack of resources. But I got there in the end. I got the actual stone cutter, where I then tried to craft those smooth sandstone blocks that you only find in villages. Turns out you can't, which is fantastic, because I wanted to use them in my building, so I was just gonna have to get these wherever. And I also failed to count where to put the corners of my house. But now it's time to go into the desert temple, which was very scary because I don't like mobs. So I lit up the desert temple, made sure there were absolutely no creepers whatsoever. Had that experience before, not nice. I don't know why I ran around so slowly, probably because I was just being careful. And I did decide here that I was going to live in the desert temple, which was probably a good idea because it meant I had a ready built place and I could focus on resources. So I mined down to where the loot was, only to find out that it was blown up. I think some sort of mob must have blown it up, but in the stream I went talking about some shit about, I don't know, a cave spawning after the temple. Yeah. So I then moved in to the temple and started just sort of cleaning it up and putting all my stuff away. Oh my gosh, I need to learn how to edit properly. Right, so we went back down into the desert temple and just lit up the bottom area because obviously I didn't want mobs spawning down there. And then I went for a little explore of the local area and found a Savannah Biome, which is pretty good for wood, if I'm honest. Pretty good for wood, and that's about it. I continued to travel through the Savannah Biome because I saw that at the very end of it, there was a bit of a plains biome, which had a lot of flowers and different types of wood, which I really wanted to use in my build. So, got over there, saw there were some sheep, and then I grabbed some birchwood because I really wanted to use birchwood for my door and maybe for some decoration inside of the desert temple. And yeah, so traveling back was always interesting because my sense of direction is really not that good, if I'm honest. But we made it home, so it was fine. So I put on the birch door and I finally had a proper house. So I then started, a bit of interior design. That's what I do. No, it is not. That is a complete lie. I am awful at designing. But I made this look decent for the time being, okay? Give me a break. So I then started making myself some farms because obviously if I was going to survive in hardcore, you can die of hunger. I don't want to do that. I'm known for taking full damage, which is obviously more hunger for me. So I just got building the farm, which took so long because obviously I'm in a desert. There's no dirt nearby. Now that's pretty much all I continue doing for the rest of the first hardcore day. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I know it's not the best. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and check me out on Twitch.